I don't think it's possible to overstate the importance of the Silverado, both to Chevrolet and General Motors, because trucks make the bucks these days, bringing in huge sums of money for automakers. Now, ensuring this all-new 2019 model here can keep up with the latest from both Auburn Hills and Dearborn, it is all about more. Except when it isn't. Compared to its predecessor, the new Silverado offers more cargo volume and tie-down points in its bed, has more interior space, more overall length, more wheelbase, and it's more aerodynamic to boot. There are more engine options, more durability, more capability, more luxury, and of course more technology. But what there isn't more of is weight. Now, perhaps the biggest news about the 2019 Silverado is that it has lost up to 450 pounds, thanks largely to a mixed materials construction strategy. In the body alone, they've used 7 different grades of steel, which has allowed them to save about 88 pounds. The fully boxed frame is all new and also about 88 pounds lighter, despite being 10% more torsionally rigid. All of the swing panels on this vehicle, that's things like the hood and doors, are made of aluminum to take even more mass out. Plus, certain models feature composite second stage leaf springs at the back that save about 12 pounds on each side. So really, they've gone through this truck and optimized everything that they possibly could. But these weight savings should not come at the expense of durability. GM doubled many key validation metrics, making this the most rigorously tested vehicle they've ever produced, meaning it should serve customers well for years and years to come. And the bed is where many of those buyers earn their living, which is why Chevrolet engineers focus so much attention on it. For starters, the floor is made out of a much stronger grade of steel to be tougher and better resist dents and perforations. Beyond that, they're claiming best-in-class cargo box volume because they've made that bed floor about 7 inches wider, which should be super handy if you haul a lot of mixed or loose materials like gravel or mulch. But if you're moving furniture instead, this truck should be just as versatile, because you can get up to 21 different tie-down points, including 12 fixed and 9 movable ones, which is an option, of course. You can also get a 120-volt power outlet back there. They've made the corner steps in the bumper much larger to better accommodate steel toe boots, plus 4 different tailgates are available on the new Silverado here, including the one we've got on this top-of-the-line High Country model, which can power operate up or down at the push of a button. But there has also been a revolution under the hood, because there will be 6 different powertrains offered in this new Silverado, nearly as many as its 8 different trim levels. You'll be able to get a 4.3-liter V6, a 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, a 3-liter inline-6 diesel is on the menu as well, 2 variants of a 5.3-liter V8, plus the 6.2-liter small block we've got here that's matched to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, depending on which engine you get, you'll have either a 6, an 8, or a 10-speed gearbox, all of which are automatic, of course. But dynamic fuel management is one of the coolest technologies to come out in years. You see, it can intelligently shut down any number of cylinders, allowing the engine to run on between 2 and 8, depending on driving conditions, and this allows it to provide just the amount of torque you need for any given situation, so you're not burning more fuel than you need to. Best of all, special control software ensures there's no extra noise or vibration. It's absolutely seamless. But how well does all of this work? Well, the 6.2-liter V8 is rated at 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, totally class-competitive figures, though I do have to say it doesn't feel quite as immediate as Ford's 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6. That thing just digs in and scoots. But in the Chevy's defense, we are at altitude in the Idaho mountains right now, meaning the air is pretty thin. Plus this small block, well, it sounds a lot better than any V6 ever does. This truck also comes with standard all-wheel drive. As for the 10-speed automatic transmission, I have not noticed any misbehavior in my admittedly limited testing. In other applications, the 10-speed has been most enjoyable, so it should be fine here as well. When it comes to consumption, this High Country Silverado should sticker at 16 miles per gallon in city driving, 20 on the highway, and 17 mpg combined. A few other notes about the way this Silverado drives. I've got to say the ride quality is incredibly impressive. You get the feeling that the structure underneath us is super, super rigid because there's no jiggliness, no shakes, no creaks, no rattles, nothing. It's just very smooth and stable on all different kinds of surfaces. I'm very impressed by it. Another thing I really like is the brake pedal feel. It's incredibly firm, almost like you'd get in a sports car, though it's not jumpy at all, so it's still easy enough to modulate. And if I were hauling a heavy load or towing, which, by the way, this high country model can handle up to 12,200 pounds when properly equipped, I would have no worries whatsoever about stopping performance. The Silverado's steering is very comparable to the other dynamic aspects, so it's confidence-inspiring and engaging enough for a very large pickup truck, though I do wish the steering wheel rim itself were of a larger diameter, giving you something a little bit meatier to hold on to. And one final thing of note, this Silverado feels absolutely gigantic, like it's 27 feet wide, like I'm sitting 4 stories in the sky. Look, I get it, full-size pickups are big, and they tend to get bigger every generation, it seems, but this thing just feels massive. I mean, when you stand next to the bed of a 4x4 model, the top rail is like at your shoulder height practically. I don't know how you'd ever load anything into there. It's almost ridiculous. And it's not that this rig is really any bigger or smaller than its main competitors. It just feels and looks massive. It's almost like driving a garbage truck or something. And since this is an all-new model, Chevrolet has markedly improved the truck's interior compared to its predecessor. And one of the first things I've noticed is that the steering column is actually centered with the driver's seat. In the previous version, it was offset a little bit, which is one of those things that once you see it, you can never unsee it. Also, push-button start is at long last available, which is, of course, a welcome addition. Now, since this truck is a bit longer and has a bigger wheelbase, they've been able to add up to 3 inches of extra legroom in the back seat of crew cab models, which makes it quite commodious. Also, they've integrated some clever storage nooks into the rear backrests, which is great for hiding stuff you don't want prying eyes to see. Now, all of that being said, the rest of the Silverado's interior here isn't all that impressive. I really think the F-150 and especially that new Ram 1500, well, they've done a better job in overall cabin quality. Some of the plastics aren't all that rich, and the switchgear could be a little bit nicer. I think Chevy engineers spent more money in areas that you can't actually see than they did in the cabin here. As it should be, this all-new 2019 model is the best Silverado ever. It's smooth, refined, and loaded with thoughtful touches. It's also on sale right now with high-volume V8-powered models arriving at dealerships as you watch this video. However, if you want to try that new 2.7-liter Turbo 4, you're going to have to wait until later this year. If you want the straight-six diesel, it should come online early in 2019. As for pricing, you should be able to get a base work truck model for just about 30 grand, but this top-of-the-line high-country variant I've been testing today, well, it stickers for just about $64,000. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the AutoGuide.com YouTube channel to get all of our latest features and vehicle reviews.